Hello, welcome to the shed and another devotion. And today we're going to meet a character with no name. She's a little girl from the northern kingdom of Israel. The country is now divided, Israel in the north and Judah in the south. And this little girl lives in the northern kingdom of Israel. The country has been attacked by these raiding parties from Syria. And the story is set for us in 2 Kings chapter 5. I read a few verses. It says, "Now Naaman was commander of the army of the king of Syria. He was a great man in the sight of his master and highly regarded, because through him the Lord had given victory to Syria. He was a valiant soldier, but he had leprosy. Now bands from Syria had gone out and taken captive a young girl from Israel, and she served Naaman's wife. She said to her mistress, 'If only my master would see the prophet who was in Samaria, he would cure him of his leprosy.'" We'll end the reading there, verse 3. So a raiding party led by this man Naaman, who was a mighty man, a man of great valor, a courageous man, a good standing with the king. But we read that he was successful because the Lord had given him the victory. That just shows us, first of all, that the Lord isn't sovereign just over the affairs of the nation of Israel and Judah. The Lord is sovereign of other countries. In fact, the Lord is sovereign of all countries. He is sovereign, full stop. And he had given Naaman these victories. And part of one of the raids that Naaman made, he carried away this little young girl from Israel, and he took her back to Syria, and she became a servant in his household and served Naaman's wife. All the things we read about Naaman, for all his great acts and so on, he was a leper. And the two little words that have captured my imagination whilst reading this. The little girl says to her mistress, if only my master." And it's those words, if only. If only, she might have thought, if only I had escaped that raiding party. If only I had hidden. If only God had given us the victory over Naaman. There were so many if only she could have said. But amazingly enough, she said, "Oh, if only my master, Naaman, would go to Israel and there meet the prophet. God could cure him of his leprosy." Isn't that amazing? You see, obviously this girl had come from a God-fearing family. She knew about God. She knew about the wonderful things God had done. And she really believed that God could cure Naaman of his leprosy. And she wanted that. She desired that. And this girl had seemingly had no bitterness or anger. She just had a belief in God that he was with her and that he could help Naaman and make her a blessing in that family that she was. If only. She said, if only my master would see the prophet who is in Samaria, he would cure him. So she illustrates to us, you see, that God is not only sovereign over all the nations, but his grace has no boundary. His grace is available for all who will just hear and believe and come. Isn't it amazing? God was working in this girl's life, and through her, he was a bless. He could bless Naaman and the family. So this little girl speaks to us loudly today. And we thank God for the testimony of this wonderful, amazing girl. Her attitude was so positive. Her attitude was so good. And she speaks to us loudly today. God is sovereign. I trust in his sovereignty. And God is gracious. God's grace knows no boundary known unto men. Oh, we thank God for the testimony of this little girl in 2 Kings chapter